to another video. Once upon a time, around about 50 years ago, in our respective nations, it was all made in our own country, basically. Due to globalization and the convenience around about 35 years ago, the transfer or the manufacturing processes in China, we have seen a more dependence of components from these parts of the world regarding anything, especially when it comes to motor vehicles, which most companies depend on. And also, like I said in the previous video, Chinese car manufacturers are breaking into the Western markets, let alone Italy. Chinese brands already known have gained them 6% market already. And it's forecast 10% at the end of the year, whilst the domestic producers are struggling with expensive models, EVs which no one wants to buy, really bad quality of the materials, problem with the engine, especially Stellantis, adopting the PureTech engine, eliminating, the engine of the Fiat, which is a fire, which May of this year they have decided. And globalism in the end makes these things more expensive, and in the event of crisis, how you're going to obtain the parts from these or components that assemble these things, seeing they just don't supply the components anymore regarding these things. They actually sell full built vehicles in Western markets. But Brazil and Romania is a different story, because in these countries, if you want to set up shop, the law says the components which the cars are produced in those countries have to be acquired from local suppliers or national suppliers within the national boundary, which is a good thing. Employs people, which they call in Dotto Italiano, creates a supply industry, basically. And you don't have that fear or problem if an overseas shipment comes or not, or it comes late, like it does happen to certain companies. And with the Fiat of Brazil, they're making really good cars, because the Grande Panda, which next year will start producing in Brazil for the South American market, won't be electric, and it won't have the PureTech engine. It will have the classic Fiat engine, which they make there underneath the hood. And it will be probably called the Fiat Uno, because obviously it started from the Fiat Uno, and obviously the Panda in Brazil is known as Datsun Uno, which is a good thing. And plus, it's another good thing as well. It's a more down-to-earth vehicle. They give you the modern style with the essentials, not with all these accessory gizmos, like if you have a computer inside your car, which these accessories, they make you pay. and you're obliged to have them. You can't take them off. And the fact is, there is a story regarding that. In some countries, you can't oblige people buying a product, then by force you add a whole series of things which only makes it more expensive, which end the consumer's not interested to have. And that's another story. In Romania, the Dacia, it's the same thing. The components, they come from local suppliers, even if it's a joint venture or it's owned by the Renault. They build the cars there, and all the parts come from there. Basically, a Fiat in Poland, the parts that come locally from there, it's not imported from China or from Italy and make it there. So it would be a good idea not depend from overseas and probably create jobs in that country. Do it like this, but it's not possible because, like I said, 35 years ago, everyone decided to send all their factories into China. And you want decades and decades to re-industrialise. And all these madness in Brussels, factories, cars, polluting, all that shit is impossible. You want to have no industry anymore. It won't be self-reliance if you want to build something in the future, God knows what.